Hi there everyone, and welcome back to another workout. Today we're going to be doing a 20-minute leg day workout, so I hope that you are warmed up and ready. If you haven't warmed up before doing this, I highly recommend it. I was already warm by the time I was ready to do this filming, so I'm just showing some moves that I like to do for warming up, heating up my hip flexors, but we are going to start on our knees today. So you should have your knees just about hip width apart, a little bit wider if that's comfortable. We are starting with a kneeling leg extension, so you're just going to lean back and go forward. The most important thing with this move is to keep your glutes flexed and your core tight as well. If you would like it to be a little bit more challenging and you have strong quads, you can extend your arms forward. But otherwise, if this causes too much pressure on your knees or it's just too difficult on your back or your core, then you can have your arms back in. Only 2 left. That's 1 and 2 makes the last one. Next thing we're going to do, we can widen our knees a little bit, will be a kneeling squat, also for 10. We're now at 8, 7, 6, 5. Same things apply, keeping the glutes tight, pulling with the quads and pushing with the glutes forward. Last one, and we're going to go back to those kneeling leg extensions one more time. I'm going to have my arms extended for this next set just so I can feel it a little bit more, but you are more than welcome to keep your arms close to you if that is more comfortable. Just breathe normally, no special breathing pattern for this. Just 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And one more set of those kneeling squats for 10, 9, 8, squeeze, raisin butt as I normally call it when we like push our 2 glutes together. 3, 2, and 1. The next part of this is we're going to be doing up downs. We're going to do 8 per leg, starting with the left side, and then you're just going to slowly come back down and lift yourself up again. So a couple of things to keep in mind with this is to keep your core braced and try and keep everything as stable as possible. I always tell people to just pretend they're in a little 4 foot by 4 foot box and they can't stand any higher. So we have 1 more, and then we're going to come up and we're going to pulse for 10 times. So get your feet about mat width apart and we're going to pulse. Hang in there. I know it burns. I was pretty much dying at this point at only 4 minutes in. So after those pulses, we're going to come back down and we're going to do the same thing for 8 on the other leg. I kind of mixed up my legs here, but the most important thing is that the leg that you're focusing on is the dominating leg that is lifting you up. And of course, keep your feet about mat width apart so you have a good stable foundation to lift yourself up on. You can have your hands anywhere you want. I decided for this set, I didn't want to have my arms hovering in front of me anymore, so I just put them on my hips. And we have about 2 more. Last one. And now we're going to pulse for another 10. Let's go. Have the arms out. If you want a little bit more challenge for your core, come up. Take a deep breath. Shake your legs out. Massage your quads. And then we're going to the next thing. So you're going to come to the front of your mat or just face forward so we can mirror each other. You're going to have your legs wider than hip width apart. You're going to come down into a sumo squat, and we're just going to do 10 sumo squats. And that's 4, 5, nice and slow and controlled, 6, 7, squeeze the glutes, raisin butt, and last 1. Flowing right into the next section, we're going to pivot to the left and squat. Pivot to the right and squat. So we're just switching between lunges and squats right now, staying in the same spot. You're just turning on one foot at a time, very controlled, using your inner thighs to bring your legs around, using the outside of your leg to push outwards. Just gotta quickly adjust my mat. Sorry about that. Keep going. Only a few more. Down, pivot, down, pivot. This part of the workout is pretty killer. So come up, relax your legs, shake them off. I'm pretty sure that you need to shake them off too. You can hit your quads if that feels good. That always feels good for me to release a lot of that lactic acid. And we're going to get ready for the next section. So we're going to go back into that squat and pivot series, but we're going to add a little spice to it. So we're going to come down and lunge for 1, 2, 3, back to center, back to the right for 1, 2, 3, back to center, and to the left for 1, 2, 3, almost there, keep it controlled, back to the right for 1, 2, 3, center, other side, almost there. And now staying facing the left or right, wherever you ended up, you're gonna lunge and hover forward into a single leg deadlift. We're gonna do this for 12. We're on 3. Option here, if your balance is not the greatest, you can just bring your foot in at a slight hover, or you can tap it on the ground behind you. It doesn't really matter which option you choose. You just want a lot of, or most of your weight bearing into that right leg, and making sure that when you lift your other leg that you're squeezing through that glute and your hips stay squared to the ground. So you just want to stay as stable as possible. It's perfectly fine if you can't get your back leg up that high. You just want to focus on the stability and working on all of those little stabilizers that help us stay balanced and upright and moving properly. So back to a squat, to the other side, 2, 3, and then back to balancing. So now you're gonna put all of that weight into the opposite leg and kick back up the other one, pulling your toes to the wall that might be behind you. Option again is to tap that foot in or just have it come to a slight hover, but I want you to keep that core engaged, keep your belly button pulling to your spine, and keeping that glute as flexed as much as you can. And of course, trusting in the balance of your other leg. It's a really good one for getting into the hamstrings as well. Only one more. And then we're gonna pivot around. And then we're just gonna do 3 more squats because why not? 2 and 3. And stand and shake out the legs again. Recover a little bit. Catch your breath, get some water if you need it. But we're gonna go right back into lateral lunges. So you're gonna wanna widen your stance and have your feet not completely facing front, but not completely out to the sides as well. Make sure your shoulders are back. You have really good posture. Be as upright as you can. And for this one, we're going to focus on each side. So we're going to start with the right side and then we'll go to the left side. So I want you to come down. We're going to do the right side first. We're going to do 12 per side. Sit right back into that right glute. Make sure the weight is in your heel and you're pushing from the inner corner of that foot so you can engage the inner thighs as well. Last one, and now we're going to switch to the other side for 12. 11, 10, 9, 8, keep the core engaged. 'Neck and shoulders relaxed. 1. So we come right back up again, keep that same wide stance, and now we're just going to slide from side to side for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, no lifting, just sliding and sliding. (16, 17, 18, 19, almost there, 23, and 24. Come back to center, walk those feet back in, and we're going to be going down into a plie squat. So as you can see, everything is just flowing into each other. This is where you want to have your toes facing outwards now, or turned outwards. Make sure that you have an upright posture with a plie squat. Instead of bending forward like we sometimes tend to do with a regular squat, you want to stay as upright as possible. You don't want to be bending forward and putting stress into your lower back. Just imagine a string pulling at the top of your head. We're going to go down and lift the heel for 1, other heel, 2, lift the right, and lift the left. Other side. We're almost halfway there. One thing to remember as well is to pull your knees back rather than imagine them pulling together. Once you start pulling your knees back or visualizing that, you'll feel a much nicer squeeze up through your inner thighs and underneath the glutes. Only 2 more. Left heel up, down, right heel, and up again. Shake out the legs as we prepare for the next little part. Now you're gonna hate me, both heels up, squat, lift, and up. If you need to hold on to something, go pause this video, rewind a little bit, and then hold on to a wall or a chair or a side of a table if you need to. But we only have a few more. We're not gonna do these for very long. There's only about 10 in here. So we have 3 and 2 and 1. And now we're gonna come up, quick rest, come down, lift those heels again. We're gonna pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Put those heels down, come on up, shake out those legs. You can do a forward fold if you really need to release any stress in your glutes and your lower back. I know that by now my legs were shaking. I don't know if you could tell or not. I was trying to compose myself, but stretch out your quads a little bit and try and relax those muscles. We've been using them a lot today. We only have about 6 more minutes to go, so hang in there. It's going to be worth it. You're definitely going to be feeling this over the next few days if you haven't really done exercises like this before. And I just find that it's so amazing what our body weight can provide for us. Next thing we're going to do is side to side curtsy lunges. So you want to have that knee going right behind the other leg. I'm demonstrating slowly here, so you can follow along with me or you can watch for a little bit just to make sure that your alignment is right. You want your hips to be as square to the front as possible. That way you can feel a nice pull in the inner thighs as well as the glutes. You want to flex the glute of the leg that is going behind you. You can lift your arms now if you want it to be more challenging for your core. I feel this a lot more in my abs when I lift my arms up. If it's uncomfortable for you to do this, if there's some kind of hip socket issue or just limited range of motion, feel free to just do regular reverse lunges. No need to do the curtsy. Keep going. Take these at your own pace, but in the video we only have 5 left. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whichever side you land on is perfectly fine. We're going to focus on that side and we're going to lunge and just focus in on that one front leg. If you're pulling back the hip of the front leg, you should really feel a nice pull as you bring that leg up. You should be feeling a pull in your inner thigh. You should be feeling it in your quads. You should be feeling this in your hamstrings as you come down. You should be definitely feeling it in your glutes as you push yourself back up. So just hang in there and then we'll move to the other side. Switch legs. Align the hips. You can have your hands wherever you want them. Keep an eye on your feet. Again, this move can be hard if you don't have the greatest balance, so feel free to hold on to something. And of course, we are focusing on that upward pulling of the leg, that lengthening and tightening of the inner thighs, squeezing that back glute, as well as the front as we come up. And last one, and back to the center of your mat. Forward fold if you need it. Release the back of the legs. I know that one definitely works my hamstrings, so I definitely had to stretch the backs of my legs for that one. Grab some water if you need it, because we're going into a chair squat. I know by now you're probably looking at that timer. We only have a few minutes left, so this is the last little part of the series that we're going to finish with a bang, a really good burnout. So you're going to come into a chair squat. So you want to make sure that you're sitting back as if you're going into a chair. So to get into that perfect position, you want to pelvic tilt forward, shoulders back, core tight, weight into the heels. You should be able to lift your toes. If you are lifting your toes and you're falling backwards, then you're sitting a little bit too low just for your range. But we're going to do 12 of these chair squats. You can do whatever you want with your arms, but here we go. We're going to go 1 and 2. You can wave your arms like this if that motion feels good. Or you can keep them in front of you, or you can even extend them forward. The key here is, instead of going up and down like with a regular squat, you want to pull your glutes back and then pull your hips forward. So it's a constant push and pull that's really going to make this focus get deep into the glutes, and then as you come up, very deep into the quads. We only have 4 more, 3 more, 2, and 1. Don't hate me. We're going to hold, lift that left heel, and we're going to pulse. Keep pulsing. We only have a few more. Go at your own pace. I know that this burns. We're almost done, I promise. I just want you to finish this out strong. Now we're gonna lift the right heel, put all the weight into that left side and pulse. Keep the core tight. Relax the face. Keep the tension out of the neck and shoulders, and just breathe. We're almost there. And that's it. Straighten the legs, shake them out. I know for sure that this workout was not easy despite it only being 20 minutes. We're going to stretch now, so it's completely optional if you would like to do this cool down stretch with me. It's just a short one, but I recommend even foam rolling if you have a foam roller. Just keep bending and straightening the legs, and then we're going to slowly stack the spine and roll up. Next thing we're going to do is a runner's stretch. So whichever leg that you want first, just put the opposite leg back and sink into those hips. Make sure your hips are squared and aligned to the floor. You can untuck that back foot and put the knee down and just get a little bit deeper into that hip if it is available to you. Option here to put the hands down and let that front leg fall open if you want to get a little bit deeper in there. And if it doesn't cause any pain, you can even bring 1 or 2 elbows down. I'm just doing 1 elbow. That's all I can do today. We're going to tuck the back toes, straighten the knee, and you can rock back and forth into that front hip flexor. Rock back. We're going to stretch the calf and the hamstrings, point the toes up to the ceiling. Think about more bringing your belly to your thigh rather than your head to your toes. Then we're going to switch sides and do the exact same thing. Square up those hips to the front and to the mat. Make sure your knee isn't coming over your ankle. Come down now and untuck those toes, and we're going to do the same thing. Walk that foot out, let it fall open, and of course there's always the option to deepen the stretch by coming down onto 1 or even both elbows if you are really feeling flexy today. Tuck those toes, straighten the leg, rock back and forth, enjoy the stretch, and now we're going to stretch the hamstring and the calf on the other side, making sure that those toes are flexed up towards the ceiling to protect the knee. We're going to push forward, lift back up, step forward, back into another forward fold. You don't have to have your legs straight. The important thing is that your back is in a good spot, hopefully not too curved over. So don't hunt into the back. Focus on having a back as straight as possible. So if that requires you to bend your knees a little bit deeper and holding onto the shins, that's what I would recommend. Hold on to the elbows and slowly roll up. The head should be the last thing to come up, just so you don't get a head rush. You can stretch the arms behind, do circles with your arms, walk out the legs, whatever you feel like your body needs, and that is it. As always, don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you're not subscribed yet if you would like more videos like this, and hit that bell icon so you can be notified every time I upload a new workout. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks again for working out with me, and see you for the next video.